Oh, pardon me. Just as I started, it figured. So what's up, folks? Yeah, excuse me. This is One Big Bug. I am coming at you with I almost said Euro Truck. American Truck Simulator. And we are continuing on just driving and having fun in our K100. Again, as I've mentioned when I first got it, not a perfect mod, but I just love the truck. So the red textures that you see on the horns and the light mean that the textures aren't actually there, so they're generated as red, and it doesn't have the slowdown, the Jake brake noise. Hopefully that'll all fix, especially with the workshop coming out. This is kind of one of the reasons I haven't gone to get mods. I'm just going to work off the workshop. Whether Jazzy Cat stuff goes there or not, I'm just going to work off the workshop rather than go to other sites. I think it'll be much easier because the mods update themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's the one great thing about the workshop. So, anyways, I know we're already hooked up to our trailer. So, or at least I remember that we're hooked up to our trailer. So let's get going. That was strange. So yeah, I had my my headset, my HyperClouds crashed for the very first time. I did a CC cleaner on my computer. First time in a while I've done a CC cleaner on my computer. Clean up the registry and other files and stuff I don't use. The main reason being I went to play World of Warships for the first time in forever, and it just wouldn't run. It kept crashing. So the solution that was most commonly given for that was to uninstall it, get rid of all traces of it. So going to the temp folder, getting rid of it, going to the app data folder and getting rid of it there, making sure you get rid of any document folders, and cleaning it out of the registry. And the only way to really clean it out of the registry is to make sure that you do it, unless you know know how to go into the registry on your own, is with something like CC Cleaner. So, I remember when CC Cleaner used to be free. It used to have a free version. They don't anymore. It's premium and free trial only. I don't know, man. I mean, it's your business. Yeah, I guess you do what you want, but I kind of feel like that's betraying your customers that help you get to that point, you know? Ah, shit. Yeah, well. Wasn't paying attention to the mini-map. Big surprise. So, by the way, I've been up all night. It's approximately 5:30 in the morning, maybe 6 o'clock in the morning. Yes, I'm still talking normally. I believe that this is the weekend that my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and everyone else went to Oahu for my baby niece's tournament. She does... I think it's softball now, or I don't know if she still does baseball. Because I don't know when baseball transitions to softball. Which I kind of don't agree with, if I'm to be honest with you. Why women... I don't know if there are women baseball teams. I just know there's softball. And I would feel that there aren't... women baseball teams yet, and this is kind of like, why aren't there? It figures that it should be baseball as well as softball, but yeah, whatever. Not going to be overly concerned about it, but that's my opinion. Is it should be women's baseball and men's baseball, and there's nothing to say that a woman can't step up and play baseball with men's leagues either. You know there are women out there that probably could. But, yeah, what are you going to do? Uh, Getting back to my wife's family going to Oahu, I'm actually kind of a little bit peeved about it. Not that they went. I knew that they were going to go. That they went, and I'm almost positive they knew that the gas bottle for the stove was out. It was out Friday morning. I was making tea in the middle of Thursday night, Friday morning, and it went out. I don't have the money to refill a gas bottle. It's $35. 35 to 40, somewhere in there. I don't have that kind of money. But they never refilled it. They just up and left. So, all day Friday, all day Saturday, and going to be all day today, because I don't think they come back till Monday. I'm living out of a microwave. And fortunately, I have some foods that can be microwaved, but not everything that can be microwaved. You know, you can't microwave chicken. It just pops and explodes in a microwave. You can't microwave sausage, as far as I know. You can technically microwave hamburgers, although it makes a greasy mess and it doesn't really come out that well. But other than that, man, I basically have Hot Pockets and fish sticks that I can microwave. So that's what I've been eating. And they're not actual like Hot Pockets. They're Lean Pockets, if I'm to be honest with you. But still. And they knew that it was out. They could have gone and got another bottle, but they didn't. And that really upset me. Or at the very least, they could have left me the money to go refill the bottle myself. But they didn't. And it just really bothers me that they knew that the bottle was empty. They had to know. They get up to make breakfast in the morning and there's no flame. But I don't know. I mean, I'm surviving. It's not like I'm starving. Even if I was, it's not like I couldn't go starving. My size. But I don't know. It's not something I would have done to them. If it was my responsibility to make sure that the bottle had gas for cooking, I would have checked before leaving. And if there was no flame, or I felt that the bottle may be getting empty, because I know the bottle gives off clues when it's getting low. The way the fire lights, there's a certain popping sound that it makes when it gets low. When it's low, it actually, you can smell the gas a little bit more. When you first turn the stove on, it smells a little stronger. And when you turn the gas off, it goes out differently as well. And these are all signals that the bottle's getting low. So I can usually tell, like, it takes 2-3 days. Sometimes it can even take close to a week for the bottle to completely empty, to where it won't support the fire anymore. I love how when I turn, the stars like flicker and dim. But whatever. So yeah, I've known that the bottle was gonna go out, but I didn't think they'd leave me, without any gas to cook with. So I haven't really been able to make a truly proper meal in a couple days. Gonna be 3, maybe 4 days before I do. It's another added depression, if I'm to be honest with you. The loneliness of the house is really getting me, because like everything's come together to where I don't have my usual stopgaps for my lonely feeling. Yeah. Straight up, Riddy's at his con, so I can barely talk to him because he literally gets up, runs out to go do what he wants, what he needs to do, because he's working the con as well as going there. He's assistant chief security, so he's working the con as well as being there. So when he gets up, he needs to go out and do what he needs to do within a short amount of time of getting up. Then when he comes back, he's exhausted, tired, and just passes out. So I don't get to talk to him that much, and I've been feeling really empty about that. I tried to get together with some older friends, but it just wasn't the same to me. I don't Skype talk with them like I do with Riddy. My other really good friend, who usually helps make me feel a lot better, Jack, as I believe I mentioned, has had to move from his home. The home where he's lived and worked for quite a while as a caretaker. He can no longer caretake the person that he's been doing so due to high amounts of stress and general threat to his life. So he's had to leave, and he moved in with his grandparents. And his grandparents not only have a poor internet, so he has a harder time getting online, but, well, no, not really have a harder time getting online, but like if he needs to update and download things, or programs that can be a bit intensive in loading graphics, much like Second Life, it can be difficult. But they also have a very strict time and regimen as well. He can only be on to a certain time. Then he needs to go to bed. And granted, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning his time, but still, it's lights out at a certain time. Let's see, what else? He can't just like sit around, like he did at his house. He can't. Jeez, did I stop short or what? He basically goes out for walks. He has to help around the house with chores and stuff. So he doesn't get on nearly as much as he used to. Let me in, thank you. So I don't get to see him for very long either. Couple hours at most. And come a certain time, and that's usually around 10 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock my time, in and around that area, there's nobody on. Yeah, building up a little too much speed. There's really nobody on that I know that I can talk to, and that bring me that sense of closeness and friendship that help keep the lonely feelings away. So I've been trying to occupy my time by playing games. And I know that I talked about this in my last video, but this is kind of what's been going on that's been making it a lot worse than I thought it would be. The fact that Riddy's not here, the fact that Jack's not here, the fact that my family, yeah, it's my family to some degree at the very least, but still, my wife's family, they're not here. And even though I hardly talk to them, the comfort of having them here, the comfort of them being around, in case something happens or whatever, just having people around does help. I still get lonely, but not as lonely. This house felt very, very tiny at one point, and it's slowly been feeling much bigger and bigger because there's less and less people here. Yeah. Well, the people that used to live here was my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law and her husband, my niece, my wife, my mother-in-law, myself, and every other week, my nephew. So there's 8 people that would be in this house, which only has 2 bedrooms, living room, kitchen, and this back little enclosed porch area that me and my wife use as our room. So, yeah, 8 people in a house that's basically 30 feet by 30 feet, with a little extension on the back. It got pretty crowded. It wasn't much in the terms of privacy. Well, since all that happened, my brother-in-law has moved out downtown. My nephew no longer comes to stay here because there's no reason to come and stay here anymore. And my wife passed away. Oh, yeah, and my wife's father passed away as well. So there were actually at one point up to 9 people here. Well, not anymore. Oh, fuck you. I hate you. Make me do this shit. And it's not... The only thing that bothers me about the way stations is that they don't matter. I could be towing an overweight truck without paperwork, overweight trailers without paperwork, and it wouldn't mean dick. Thank you. Jerks. But it still does mimic the reality of trucking in the United States, so can't complain. Can't complain. Well, I can, and I just did, but you know what I mean. So, anyhow, you know, I think I may just stop here. I know we don't have far to go, but I'm going to stop here for gas and rest and then bring the trailer in the rest of the way, just to be on the safe side, because my stamina meter is really getting up there, and to be fair, my gas is a little bit low. So, let's do that. Do 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 do. Come on. There we go. I actually started watching this series, and I didn't finish watching it, and I should. Outback Truckers. And as the name may suggest, was that the loan? No, that was the driver. Awesome. Well, the loan came in as well, but my driver was there too, so that really lessened the impact of the loan. So, it's really good. Really good show about truck drivers in the Outback, specifically road trains. You know, where they're towing 3, even 4, trailers, so there are these super long lines, and about all the things they have to deal with while being on the road, such as cars that don't understand what it means to be in front of a road train. When you're in front of a road train, you don't suddenly brake and slow down because the road train can't, more or less. At least not in the distance it needs to not turn your car into a hood ornament. and just various other things. And some of the deliveries they make about this one guy who spanned, I think, 3 to 4 episodes, was delivering to this extremely remote area where half his trip was like off the paved roads. So he was slogging up and down hills and through extremely deep mud and water, and having to cross rivers during what's coming to be rainy season, and basically putting a big rig through things it's not meant to go through, trying to get these deliveries in. And to watch the struggle that he went through to do it was absolutely incredible. And the fact that his truck was old and his engine was really old, and basically it was like, I have a replacement engine ready for my truck, but I can't put it in until I finish this delivery. And having to deal with his engine being extremely old and wanting to give out as well made things like really, really difficult for him. Yeah, my nose. Please pardon me. You probably still heard that, but hopefully not as badly. And then they focused on some, what they call two-up couples, where basically the truck only stops to switch drivers, get food, and use bathroom. Otherwise, the truck is constantly moving. And they were older couples. And they focused on this another couple, although they didn't focus on the male. They focused on the woman specifically because she's a former model, not just model. I believe she was a supermodel. And she moved to Australia, learned to drive road trains, and has been doing so since. And so they were, dealing with this model turned trucker that they wanted to follow as well. Couple other guys delivering things in inhospitable roads and not being able to because things flooded. So they ended up having to leave half of what they were transferring where they had stopped, and were forced to bring them back later. When the rainy season was over, they were forced to come back, or they will be forced to. They actually didn't go back. So it's a really interesting and entertaining program, and it's actually on YouTube. And somebody posted it on the Truck Sim Reddit. So if it's something you're into and you haven't seen it yet, if you haven't gone to the Truck Sim Reddit and saw it, or you don't know about it, just go to YouTube and look up Outback Truckers, and you'll find it. There's only 2 seasons, and I think there's maybe like 5 or 6 episodes per season, but that doesn't mean there's not going to be more. This could be just something new that started up. I didn't pay attention to when the videos were actually like, I almost made it without speeding, and I wasn't even speeding by that much. Again, to me, this is one of those things where the cop would not have actually pulled me over to give me a ticket, because I wasn't really speeding all that much. All right, we'll try the where do you need it, which of course it's going to be over there. First, we'll try and do this the easy hard way. This shouldn't be too bad. You can already tell what I'm going to try. Again, I'm probably still going to hit. Nope. Yep. Almost made it though, and I only got to back up a little bit. I don't think I can actually pull this off, but I'm actually close. I'm not going to get it on the first shot, I don't think. And again, who knows? If I can pivot fast enough. No, it's not going to pivot fast enough. I'm going to hit the building. Yep. It's alright. Still, I'll probably tap the building again. Yep. Which again is fine. I don't know why I did that when I know how I needed to turn. Be honest with you, this should count right here. This shit should count right here. That trailer's in place. Alright. I'm gonna have to pull the truck straight. I was hoping it would just give it to me like that, but it's not. Okay, game. You win. You win this time. I'm actually just going to let the building guide me to help me get the truck to where I can pull the trailer straight. It's not something you do in reality, because by the way, I'm making this far more difficult than it needs to be. I realize that. I realize I'm making this far more difficult than it needed to be. But I wanted to try something, and yeah, it didn't work. But in the end, the trailer is in place, and that's what matters. And we did excellent work. No damage to the trailer. Get plenty of money. I really want to look for a garage and resting area. Awesome. So let's go do that. Now, as long as we end our trip with more money than what we started. We started with about 22,000. We end with almost. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. We ended with almost 26,000. So, score. Yeah, my nose. I really hate these speed limits. Towns are not 30 everywhere you go. They're just not. Some roads will be less. They'll be 25 and even 20, and other roads will be more. 45, 50. Why am I stopping? 45, 50, 55. Oh no, not 55, but 40 to 45. Stop. Let's service the truck. Awesome. And let's get our rest. Man, I am like really starting to get tired. Which, well, obvious, yeah, I should be. One advantage I guess I have coming up is Riddy does come home today. Although I won't see him until much later, but at least he comes home today. And that counts for something. The trucks again, 14,000. Yeah, same place, same place, same place. Basically, I'm looking for something that goes like here or here. That's about, oh yeah, here as well, although that's really short. I'm basically almost done with not the roads, but the towns. I've almost got all the towns. I might even want to, I'm not going back there, if I can help it. I'm basically... No! I double-clicked by accident. Not what I wanted to do. Alright. So, we'll just take this again. That's fine. I'm basically going to have to try and start plotting my own course. So that I start covering roads that I haven't taken yet, I guess. Oh, another thing I could do is if I get up enough money, I could just drive out here on my own. But, whatever. Whatever. So yeah, we'll take the trucks, oops, and whatnot. All right, folks. So that's going to be me done for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've been enjoying bringing it to you. Until next time, this is going to be One Big Bugga, and I will be signing out. And I will see you then.